Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the United Podcast Match Rewind Edition. Well, now, if your electricity bills have been putting you under more pressure than the Sydney Roosters did to us for 40 minutes of that football game in the second half, well, it's time for you to look at Solar Battlers. Audra Solar, a local, family-owned and operated, servicing Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, the Hunter, Port Stephens, and the Central Coast. They handle solar installs, battery storage, and EV chargers, and everything is done by a qualified, accredited electrician. And no contractors and no pushy sales teams. How annoying are they? Every system is custom designed to your home, and they'll even come out and give you a free on-site quote. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Get onto it. Head over to Audra Solar. That's AUDRA solar.com.au, or give them a call at 1300 104 914 and see why the locals just keep dishing them up the 5-star reviews. Audra Solar, powering homes across the Hunter the right way. Oh, well, on this episode, we're breaking down what can only be described as a tale of two halves. Our mighty Knights punched in the mouth early, conceding points within the first couple of minutes of the game, but we fought back. We clawed our way back. We flipped the script and we went into the sheds 12 up after a beautiful Fletcher Hunt hat trick in the first half. But the moment that halftime siren rang out, that changed everything. The Roosters came out and completely took control, piling on 26 unanswered points in a dominant second half performance, and once again proving why they are the Kim Kardashian comeback kings of the NRL. Where did it all go wrong? Well, on this episode, we'll be breaking down the positives, the glaring negatives, and what that loss tells us, what this Knights team is all about after our round 7 game against the Roosters. Not only that, we'll be taking a look at your Nightanium Forge Player of the Week, brought to you by LGB Marine. I'll be giving you my Paycat United Players of the Week, as well as answering your Get Out Alive fire safety training burning questions. So, Battlers, sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Justin Holbrook outlook from our round 7 clash against the Roosters, baby. Let's go! Chew on that! Oh, do you know who can go chew on that? That's the Dragons administration. Now, you didn't catch this, Luke. NRL 360, Braith and Asta. Whoa! Shots fired at the bigwig, the CEO of the Dragons. This is why we're starting this show talking about this sacking. No one likes to see a bloke lose their job. I don't have anything particularly. I have nothing against the Dragons. My father is a huge Dragon supporter. I've never met a dickhead Dragon supporter, if I'm going to be honest. So my heart goes out to them. No one wants to see a team lose 11 straight. Okay, we've been there. It's not nice. Obviously, the big news surrounding the NRL at the moment is, yes, Shane Flanagan, the Dragons, it's done. Put to bed. But oh my God, this just goes to show, Battlers, as bad as you thought things were going to be walking into this episode, it could be a million times worse. All right. So that's why I'm going to start this show talking about that, where the Dragons are at, because oh my Lord, they have big problems right at the top. You know, if you say successful football clubs, it doesn't start with the coaches or the players. It starts at the tippity top, and shit, he's picked a fight with the media. If you haven't done so already, go listen to what Braith and Asta had to say about the, I can't remember his name, something Lancaster or something. 10 points to the first battler who can rattle his name off to me. But holy shit, the Dragons CEO waging war with the media. Not good. Not good at all, but good for us. You know what? You don't feel so bad now, do you? Thinking, you know what? Could be a hell of a lot worse. I know we were terrible in that second half. It could be worse. Could be sacking our coach. Players want to leave. 11 straight losses. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel for the Dragons? Who knows? We don't really particularly care, but condolences to all the Dragon supporters. But look, if you want to go chew on a hot take, Battlers, might as well chew on something absolutely elite. Get your hands on some beef jerky, baby. That's right. Quality beef jerky with bold flavors that'll hit you harder than a front rower. Go visit them at beachjerky.net and go get your game day fuel. Seriously, pair that up with a beautiful game day lager. Beautiful stuff to watch some rugby league football. Even if you're losing, eat your feelings away with a bit of beach jerky. So shout out to the boys there doing some great stuff. Now, Battlers, if you're watching the live stream at the minute, give it a big old thumbs up, baby. Goes a long, long way. Helps us here grow the United, get more battlers. There's going to be battlers out there that are just wandering aimlessly, wanting answers, wanting to find a tribe. And they might just follow. Your thumbs up might just connect them. All right, let's get them in here. Let's bring them into the fold and grow this community even more. And wherever you're wasting your time, we all know we all waste far too much time on our phones, scrolling, doom scrolling, or whatever platform you're on. I can guarantee you we're there. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you go give us a follow. And for Christ's sake, go give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it be on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Now, if you do want to support us here at the United, you can do so for as little as $5 per month. All right. And whether the Strait of Hormuz is open or not isn't going to affect these prices. All right. These are inflation proof. They're locked in. They're not going anywhere. $10 a month. Come on into the Club Titanium. It has been lit up. I'm sure it's very cathartic in there at the moment. Everyone's leaning on one another, getting their feelings out. And if you want to join the highly coveted Lock It In Championship, you can do so for $25 per month. Did anyone lock in what we saw on the weekend? I highly doubt it. I hope not. There was an air of confidence. But anyways, enough of that. But yes, all right, let's do it. Let's take a little look at what has been going on in the news for the Newcastle Knights this week.
It's the United News.
Now, I'm thinking, Lou, do we get, or is there a refund policy on Sage?
I don't believe so.
What is going on? More injury. Tommy Cant expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks after sustaining a calf tear during training this week. What the fuck? A training injury now. All of our injuries prior to this have been game day. Now they're getting injured in the training paddock. Oh my God. Now look, terrible news for our boy Tommy. Now look, I know I gave Frank the Tank Manu Leilua his basically debut at the back row. I know he debuted back at the Warriors game. We're not really going to count that, but yeah, this sucks for Tommy. Obviously, got that contract extension before the ball was even kicked. Trialed really, really well. Coming off the bench there, he would have been stoked to have been handed the keys to that left edge spot vacated by Dylan Lucas. But yes, unfortunately, he's going to be rehabbing with a bunch of other players as well. So more shitty United news, Battlers. I'm really sorry about this. Let's hope this ends. I don't know what more I can do. Tell me. Drop in the comments, what can we do to possibly stem this curse?
You know what I've just realized, Lincoln?
What's that?
The sage is called Dragon's Blood. So maybe tomorrow I need to go get a new sage.
Is it? I thought sage was sage. Isn't all sage all sage?
Well, it was called Dragon's Blood.
It's called Dragon's Blood.
Also, I was just about to sleep last night, and I remembered I did that video yesterday, and I quickly shot up because I was worried that it was still burning in the bar because I was worried we
was it
have a bar. No, thankfully.
I was going to say, geez, an extra sage. That would have been saging for hours down here.
Yeah, so thankfully it wasn't burning, and the United bar didn't burn down.
I thought sage was sage. I didn't think there was different versions of sage.
Leanne commented here, there's white sage. So I'm going to go get some white sage tomorrow.
Right. Okay. Maybe that's okay.
White sage.
White sage. Is that where we've gone wrong? Anything dragons at the minute, you don't want to touch.
That's what I was saying.
Have we been tainted by the dragon's blood?
Yep.
Okay. We fucked up. Okay. Well, forgive us. We're not sage experts here at the United. We're just doing our bit, but maybe we've accidentally brought on a curse on ourselves. We brought the dragon's curse upon our club. So yes, we're going to go get ourselves some white sage. If you're a sage expert out there, reach out, get on the United hotline or DM us. Let us know what to do because we're certainly no experts. We're relying on some experts ourselves. So maybe we've been sold dud sage. I didn't know that. So you've rocked me, Lou. You've absolutely rocked me with that one. All right.
We've also got some news coming in. Greg Marzu is out this week on a concussion.
What?
Luke Sports Gaming. Greg Marzu out this week.
Oh, for
concussion.
Fuck's sake. All right, we are definitely getting that white fucking sage. That fucking dragon shit, whatever we bought, no good. Get rid of it. It's getting fucking thrown in the bin. Unbelievable. Anyways, all right, let's move along, shall we, to this game review. This is going to be a bit cathartic. Bit of light and darkness in this one. Some positives and negatives.
Can I start with the darkness?
We're going to start with the dark, are we? Is that where we're going? All right, let's do it.
Hey, 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 Rooster, Rooster man.
Fuck's sake, Hainsey.
I wanna be a Roosters fan, be a Rooster, Rooster man. Now I'm in the Roosters clan. Just another famous Chook 13 pass against Newcastle. And look, Lincoln, we gave you a 40-minute head start and still couldn't get it done. Bad luck. Up the Choogies.
Fuck's sake, Hainsey. How did that one get through? Huh? Sitting there gloating. I was trying to keep an eye out for him on the broadcast as well. Couldn't spot the big fella, but yeah, he'll be extremely happy with that comeback. As I said, the comeback kings at the moment after what do they mow down a 16-point deficit against the Sharkies, a 12-point deficit against us coming in half time. But yeah, look, it was shaky early, wasn't it? We saw, we talked about in the roster review show that makeshift left edge. We got Brady Best out, we got Dylan Lucas out, and then to pile on top of that, Tommy Can, as we just said, he was out. So Francis, he's going to get his shot in the back row there with Fletcher Hunt. He's moved from fullback there, and we knew that's where the Roosters were going to attack. That was going to be no surprise whatsoever. We called it. We saw it unfold. Reece Robson spots some really lazy marker defence in the first couple of minutes, gets the ball out to DCE to Tedesco to Wong, bang, they're in. And we're just sitting there with our head in our hands going, oh, Christ. This just feels like the Tigers game all over again, didn't it? But I tell you what, we did manage to wrestle the momentum back because the Roosters were quite shaky in and on themselves. There was a couple of times, I swear it was like the first couple of times we went to the red zone, we walked away with points. A beautiful first half hat trick. We're going to be talking about Fletcher Hunt exclusively in a little bit. But yeah, we walked away with some points there. And we're thinking, okay, this is going to be an old, shout out to all the battlers who joined me on the Knights Watch. We're like, this is going to be a shootout. This reeks of a shootout. We know the left edge looks shaky at best. It was absolutely torn apart by the Tigers. And we know the Roosters' right edge with Rob Toyer, Mark Nwanga to Tawase, they're leaking more points than any other side of the field, anywhere else on the field. Sorry for the Roosters. No, this is going to be a shootout. This is just reeks of one of these games. But there was a period of the second half there where we were certainly the better team. We walked away with a bit of confidence. We repelled them a few times. They really didn't fire a shot. We're thinking, okay, shaky start, but the boys got their shit together. Here we go. And then we started piling on the points. Shout out to Matty Croker. One of the most beautiful fucking short passes you'll ever see to a big man. Absolutely fooled everyone, even the cameraman. No one saw it coming. Trey Mooney, the fucking heavens, the rugby league gates of heaven just opened up for him, and there he is. Untouched, touch football stuff by Trey Mooney. I thought that was absolutely superb bloody ball playing there by Matty Croker. And yeah, there was a couple of tries, within the red zone, and then we got to a couple of long distance tries, which was really pleasing. So we could kind of see, look, the Roosters weren't particularly on as well. They've been a bit hot and cold. Errors, coming into this game, they had been their own worst enemy, something we had spoken on the roster review show on, and that was continuing. So we're thinking, okay, here's the game script. It's going to be one of these shootout type of affairs. Dominic Young, a poor read on Daniel Tupou, really didn't do much on the play there. An easy bat back for Hugo Savali, basically scores untouched as well. That was a little disappointing as well. But heading into the sheds after a halftime hat trick, we were feeling really good. I think everyone at halftime was going, you know what? we can absolutely do this. At our
That's a good segue into my next voicemail.
all right,
Lincoln.
play it. What do we
With
got?
the tale of two halves. Here's some positivity.
So we've just hit half time and we're up. It's been a pretty good game so far. I think we're definitely in control of this one. We do need to score first after half time to take that back.
Oh no!
And I feel like Tedesco is going to be in the ear of Ashley Klein for the next 40 minutes. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Ashley Klein. I think I'd probably get a AVO. But yeah, I think we've definitely got this game in the bag. I'm not really too keen on how Harrison Graham's been playing. I think Phoenix is a little bit better at 9. Just feel like we lost a bit of intensity when Graham came on. So hopefully we crack into the second half. Fletcher Hunt's having a fantastic game, and also big shit out to Brownie coming back and getting straight back into it. Let's go Knights.
Or Snedden.
I don't think we've ever taken a call at half time. It was an early crow, and mate, you had every reason to feel confident. We saw what the Tigers did to us last week, and we're not going to do that again. It shall not happen again. We were shaky to start. If you kind of dissected that game into quarters, first quarter, yeah, you'd give it to the Roosters. Second quarter of that game absolutely was us. We dominated that 20-minute period between sort of 15, 20 minutes, right to the 40-minute mark. But that second half, boy, oh boy. I think it's our only scoreless half now in the Justin Holbrook era in the Telstra Premiership. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we've been held scoreless in a half thus far until this game, in a half of football. But yeah, right off the bat, it did not look good, did it? Fletcher sharp. I know there's been some commentary. I know I would have personally, and I'm not trying to play hindsight hero. I've got the receipts on the Tuesday show. I would have liked to have seen him just stay in the halves and cook with Brownie there. Is the knee still an issue with him playing big minutes at fullback? He did look good in glimpses there. He was a little quiet by his lofty standards. Probably his most down game, I would probably say, him playing at fullback. That first try, like, why he just didn't dive on that football with that kick put in by Sam Walker, and he gets that one there, and it wasn't great, and just at the minute now with the way rugby league football is played, the Volandes ball, where now momentum is so huge, it is more imperative now than ever to try and win back momentum. We've seen it firsthand for 2 halves against the Tigers, and now the second half against the Roosters. Just like it's. I know it's always obviously been a foundation of rugby league football to have the momentum in your favor to win football games. But now it just seems like when it starts to get away from you, it can fucking get away from you fast. And you've got to have some plays up your sleeve to try and win that back pretty quickly. Otherwise, before you know it, it's done. And I think we were all sitting here. I know I was sitting here just going, I hate to be a pessimist, but I was like, I'm seeing nothing from no one in this second half to convince me that we've got anything up our sleeve to try and turn this. They were just absolutely rolling through us with ease. Like, you look at some of the numbers they were posting, fuck it, we're going to do it now. Because it's the statistic paint a pretty bleak picture of just how utterly dominant the Roosters are. If I can find it
While
here.
you bring that up, I've got a voicemail from Nico.
All right, play that.
Hey guys, Lincoln and Lou, fellow Butlers. Just had to sleep on that one. It's always tough losing on a Sunday, especially to the fucking Roosters. They just got it over us, honestly. They got some crazy record against us as well, and we just fucking always lose. Pisses me off. Anyways, I thought we had that one in the first half. Game of 2 halves. Came out second half, just blew us off the park. I don't know what happened, but they just had all the ball, all the momentum, and in this league at the moment, the team with the momentum can score points, and they score them fast. It's very hard to get that momentum back, and that's why it just had that from the get-go. We had no answers, and yeah, it's just crazy, man. Francis, special shout out to Francis Manilelua. I think he is a keeper, great player, very impressive, very impressive. Fletcher Hunt, obviously freak. Dill Brown was real slick, yeah, man, just it's positivity. Still 4 from 3, still in the top 8. We've played some tough teams. I think every game has been tough, and we beat teams that we probably would have lost to last year for sure. So hang in there, guys. Still early days. Thanks, guys.
Oh, well said, Nico. Well spoken, brother. Yeah, hard to argue with any of your points there, mate. It feels like, in comment away if you agree with me, it feels like a buy right about now would be really handy for our boys. I feel like
I was literally thinking that today.
Yeah, feels like a buy about now would come at really good time for us. Feels like we've been up and down, and especially with injuries, certainly haven't helped us. A buy this week would have been nice for us. But not to get sidetracked a bit, Lou was sort of asking me, how do you think you'll go against the Panthers? Like, how we'll fare against the Panthers? What I will say, I think this year, apart from like a team like the Dragons, is when a team's been down, like you look at what Parramatta did to the Bulldogs and like what the Bulldogs did to Panthers, is you don't want to go against a team that's been flat for a couple of weeks because they generally do bounce back. We have seen that against the Warriors. Unfortunately, back-to-back losses aren't helping us, but yeah, not to get sidetracked too much there. But yeah, the Volandi's ball now, and by Volandi, when I say Volandi's ball too, people go, what the hell are you talking about? It's kind of like this online, what would you call it? It's sort of slang, a makeshift slang for the current way the way rugby league is played. High energy, high scoring, 6 agains. And yeah, momentum now has never been more imperative in the Telstra Premiership than it is now. And it just seems at the moment the good clubs can basically have a couple of things up their sleeve to win back momentum, or to certainly, stem the bleeding, so to speak, because unfortunately the clubs that aren't that good at it, the scoreline just gets away from them fucking pretty fast. I would dare say, had we have played this brand of football and this kind of game had been played 5 or so years ago, you probably don't see a scoreline what we saw. I think it'd be probably a little bit more flattering. But it was just one of those things in the second half. Sorry, I was going to read out the stats because they're pretty bloody damning. You look at here, possession 56% to 44. I did see someone somewhere post something like we had like 29% possession in the second half. I don't know how true that is, but it fucking certainly felt like that. Time in possession, 28.5 minutes for the Roosters, barely over 23 minutes for us. That's a good 5 or more minutes the Roosters had the ball, which is fucking huge. Completion rate, we are in favour. The Roosters, again, as I was saying earlier, they're a team that do have a lot of errors in their game. That's one of their blights at the minute. 199 runs for the Roosters for 1,864 meters, only 164, and we barely cracked. We didn't even make 12 and a half. So an extra 600 plus run meters there for the Roosters. This is pretty damning. 590 post-contact meters for the Roosters. We only managed 312. So they just about doubled post-contact meters on us, which is fucking huge. 6 line breaks to 4, 49 tackle breaks to our 16. So again, that just spells out to you. They just won the physical battle. And I think Jacob Saifides echoed those sentiments and sort of reaffirmed, basically saying that we didn't win first contact. They just rolled right through us. Average play the ball speed. This one's huge. It doesn't sound a lot when you look at it on paper, but when you apply it in real life, it's fucking huge. The average play the ball speed for the Roosters is we'll call it 3.1 seconds. Ours is 3.8. So you're almost kind of looking at an extra second. That's how much faster the Roosters were at finding their front and playing the ball and just playing over the advantage line. Like, again, you look at it on paper, it doesn't look like much, but when you apply that in the real world, it's fucking huge. So that's pretty damning. That's something we need to work on, because the Tigers, I would dare say, the Tigers game would have been pretty darn similar to that as well. Is there anything else here that's really sticking out? Not real. Oh, man, here's a big one. Sorry, how did I nearly miss this? 49 missed tackles compared to the Roosters' 16, which is fucking enormous. 49 missed tackles. I know. I remember vaguely the statistics. Wasn't like 20 missed tackles or something in the first 20 minutes of the second half. It was something crazy anyways. And again, 16. The Roosters made twice as many errors than us. They made 16 errors. Like, what would this football game been like hadn't they gifted us some real good field position? And they did. They had a couple of errors. Shout out to Dill Brown, put on a couple of big shots and forced some errors after that on their side of the field. But had the Roosters not turned over the ball twice as many times as us, like, where are we at? As I said, they can be their own worst enemy. They could have quite easily, they probably would have put 50 on us had they have got those errors under control. But yeah, pretty damning statistics. Now, look, we're not going to go throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're not sitting here. We're not smashing the panic button. We do know this is a new era under the Justin Holbrook regime. Look, we got injuries, okay? We do have injuries. But you know what? I kind of want to use this episode, as bad as the performance was, the team performance was in that second 40, I really do want to use the Titanium Forge player and my United Players of the Week to really shine a light on some absolute fucking young throbbers we got in this team who I thought were a fucking standout in a beaten team. And these guys in particular, I don't think should be walking away feeling too bad for themselves whatsoever. So fuck it. We're going to do it. Let's jump into this week's Titanium Forge Player of the Week, brought to you by LGB Marine, the experts in building resilience on and off the water. Just like the tougher structures they construct, this player has been battle-tested and built to withstand anything. LGB Marine, strength, precision, resilience. Let's dive into this week's winner. And absolutely zero surprises whatsoever. It's our boy, Fletcher Hunt. What an absolutely remarkable football game by this young fella. A first half hat trick sets up the tone of his game. Not only was that miraculous, do you know what a lot of people are sort of forgetting was the 2 try savers he had as well. So throw that in the mix. Where are we at had he not have saved those 2 tries? If you cast your minds back, gets Mark Nwanga and Itawase. Shout out to me. I think you were upstairs, Lou, doing something when that try was scored and I fucking saw it. I was like, I swear his foot touched the line there.
I heard you yelling.
And they sent it up and I was like, oh, I swore I saw it. And I did. I called it. And then the more impressive one was getting underneath Siwa Wong too. A beautiful try-saving tackle on the much bigger man as well. So don't sleep on that. Defensively, doing a job. So, oh, man, like after a performance like this, we know he's done a pretty darn good job filling in for Kalen Ponga at fullback for a majority of this season. But, geez, you plug him in on the left edge there. It's center. Like, let's be honest, doesn't have Dylan Lucas, and he's got Francis played a spectacular game. Like 2 youngsters just lit it up. But they were the excitement machines of the day, those 2 boys. Yeah, wow. Gee, it's going to be incredibly hard to leave this guy out off this field. Like, he has done nothing. Like, I know he's had a couple of defensive reads and some errors in his game, but you can kind of overlook that at the moment with just what he's given you. Like, you look at the 3 tries he scored, right? Runs outside, runs around an origin player, Rob Toyer, on the right edge. Beautiful shift. Dylan Brown gets nice deep in the line, out the Sandon. Sandon just hits him, runs around him, untouched, touch football stuff. Then he somehow outleaps Mark Nwanga Nitawase. Who else has done that? The guy's an absolute athletic freak. Fletcher Hunt made it look easy. A beautiful kick. Pinpoint accuracy by Dylan Brown. Puts it on a fucking dime. Scores there. And the third time, so they're all different type of tries. And then we see that beautiful line ran by Big Francis, an outside in, just splits Toya and DCE like the fucking straight of Harmoose, fucking whooshka, straight through it. And then who's pushing up in support? The flow bro. There were 3. We now have 3 flow bros now, don't we, Lou? Well, technically 4. Pasami, Francis, Fletcher Hunt, Fletcher Sharp. Loaded with mullets. absolutely chock-a-block with mullet. So,
Multanium.
Multanium. There was zero nitanium in that second half, but this bloke certainly had some nitanium pumping through his veins. So, absolutely incredible performance. He has seriously making a strong case to go, how on earth, full strength, right? Completely and utterly full strength. Where do we play Fletcher Hunt now? He's too good to play Reggie's. Like, what are we doing now? I know when Gags, if the farewell reunion goes on another year or not, that's yet to be seen. But you would think that if that does come and Gags isn't here in 2027, this bloke has to be at the top of the list to pick that centre spot up. Like, boy, oh boy.
I've got a voicemail from Josh.
Josh, hit me.
Link Lou Battlers. How good is rugby league until it is not? I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, but think of the positives. Fletcher Hunt, he needs to be in this side. When everyone is back, he needs to be in this side. I don't know how, but he just needs to be. And for that, unfortunately, there will be no swan song for Mr. Fine Red. He'll just, thanks for your time, Dane, but just needs to go. And Schiller, DeCourcy, McCartney, like, you'd think two of them will leave the club because Fletcher Hunt will be in this back line for the next 10 years. God, I love that mullet.
He makes a very valid argument. He makes an incredibly valid argument. I don't know how this guy isn't in the team more. Like, he's look at the small amount of games he has played thus far. Shout out the first battler who can tell me how many games Fletcher Hunt has actually played. Like, where is this guy going to be after 50 games, after 100 games? Incredibly exciting, and he's offering versatility now. I was a little worried he would struggle there at centre. Now, no, it wasn't the best performance, defensive performance as a system on that edge there, but geez, he can hold his head up high. There was some really, really good solo defensive efforts there by Fletcher Hunt. And yeah, the threat under the high ball, like, yeah, it's good. It's heating up. My Fletcher Hunt stand. I always like Fletcher Hunt, but after that game, man, the ceiling's lifted even higher for me. Really is. Like, we do know how hard that center position is to play, and defend. Like, shout out to Wilson DeCourcy. Obviously, he had a tough game last week, but when you got Rob Toyer, Mark Nwang, and Tawase coming at you, for large periods of that game, I thought he did really, really well. So, yeah, huge effort, massive effort by Fletcher Hunt. So, but let's do it. Let's jump into my Paycat United Players of the Week, brought to you by Paycat, a crew in Newey who know their stuff. Whether you're paying the boys on a construction site or trying to sort out that tricky Shads award for your NDIS biz, Paycat make it dead easy, baby. They back hundreds of businesses and even help an NRL club keep their payroll running smooth. You can do payroll yourself or get the Paycat team to do it for you. Either way, you'll have more time to crack a cold grain-fed lager and watch some footy. So let's take a look at some blokes who I thought earned their play this week. 3 points. No doubt, Fletcher Hunt. How could you not? A point for every try in that first half was absolutely spectacular. As I was saying earlier, in the manner in which he scored them, they're all different, and they're all fucking spectacular in their own right. So, huge game for him. Francis Manu Leilua. What did I say earlier in the year about remember the name? If there was ever a guy, I seriously can't remember a time, probably since Fletcher Sharp, there was a guy coming through. You go and keep your eye on this dude. There is something about this guy. And holy shit, didn't he impress? Now, here's the contract details around our boy Frank the Tank, as we were going to call him here at the United. He did ink a 3-year deal back in September 2024, starting in 2025. So 25, 26, 27, we got our hands on him. Auckland born, came through that Penrith system. Oh, my God. Big, powerful, mobile, silky hair, fucking amazing looking mullet. What is not to like about Big Frank the Tank? This guy is just a fucking beast. I'm so incredibly excited. I know we've got our injuries at the moment, but this is the silver lining, isn't it? This is where you get the test of depth, and you give a young guy a crack like Francis, and they just fucking give you that. Oh my Lord. He was absolutely incredible. Like the lines he was running, even you look at that first try by Fletcher Hunt, runs a beautiful line there. You know, how many times you see defenders stopping in the defensive line, gets called back for obstruction, all that stuff. The guy looked like a seasoned professional. You watch that game back. If someone were to tell you that's his second NRL game, you go, bullshit. No way. Against the Roosters too. We're not talking about, you know, like a bottom four kind of club here. In a team that was getting dominated, boy, he was impressive. Very impressive. So I know it sucks to have some injuries out, but these are the little silver linings you get. And shit, I am so excited to see fucking Francis Mane take it to the Panthers this week. Holy shit.
We have a comment from Elizabeth. Fletcher Hunt has played 17 NRL games.
17. And he's given you that. As I said, wait till he's got 50 or 100 under his belt. What's he going to do then? He's still got so many more layers to his game at the moment, but both the Fletchers just natural-born football players, right? There's something about Fletchers and mullets that just immediately makes you a great natural football player. Just mad footy IQ, super athletic, good stuff. We've got to keep the flow bros. We've got to trademark that, the flow bros. So, but yeah, he gets my 2 points this week. Big Frank the Tank. I thought he was absolutely fucking sensational in a beaten team. And that's why my third one, now a guy that a lot of people probably might not even remembered him playing on the field, but I'm going to give it 1 point to our boy Cody Hopwood. I thought he was absolutely sensational. Well, before I do that, we're going to read out some stats. I've misreading the boy stats here. Let's read out Fletcher Hunt's. We're going to rewind back a little bit here. Fletcher Hunt, obviously 3 tries, 8 runs, 81 run meters, 4 post contacts, got the 1 tackle break, got the 1 line break, 23 tackles, 4 missed. Did he have any errors? Got the 1 error to his name. But now I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me right, about our boy, Frank the Tank, if I can find it, if this NRL app stops wigging out on me, he is most run meters for the Newcastle Knights in that game against the Roosters. 80 minutes, got the try assist, obviously that huge tearaway line break. 11 runs for 123, the best, 34 post contact, got the tackle break, got the 2 line breaks, 31 tackles, got the 6, missed, unfortunately. Not all missed tackles are created equal. I'd have to go really to have a look at that. But, geez, for a guy who played his second game, shit, he was massively impactful. So, hard to go past that. But our boy Cody Hopwood, here we go here. In 18 minutes, the 8 runs, 53 run meters, 16 post contact, but 14 tackles, 0 missed. And I thought, you know what, for a guy where, unfortunately, JSAF and Mooney, again, they got dominated. You know, the Roosters pack just took it to them. They admitted it. It is what it is. For these very young guy like himself coming off the bench, I think he can hang his head up pretty fucking high. The eye test looked really good. Rolled up the sleeves, got some work done. He'll be better for it. I kind of want to use this platform and the United Players of the Week to kind of showcase the up and coming. You know, this is the new breed. This is the new generation of Knights players. And I thought in the way that we lost, in the fashion we lost, these boys stood up and did a job. I think they really did. I think they were kind of let down by some of the leaders in the club. And these guys showed the way. So fucking kudos to them. The young boys picking up the points this week. Again, who else can we really talk about here? Dylan Brown. One thing I found, I have to go back. Apparently he had the most missed tackles, 7 missed tackles, which would be super uncharacteristic of Dylan Brown, known as one of the better defending halves in the competition. Again, not all missed tackles are created equally. So I'd have to go back there, but did have a couple of amazing shots put on there on the right edge. And yeah, the Roosters copped the ball up like a play, or I think it was the next play, rattled them with some huge shots there. Had some really nice touches. Look, he is coming back from injury. I'm not going to be super critical of Dylan Brown's performance. I don't think anyone really is at this point in time. Now, look, he's the big marquee guy and all that. We understand that. You know, if we continue to see this, you would like to think there's a trick up Dill's bag or two, whether it's kicking early. The big shots he did do, trying to guide this team around to try and do something to turn the tide. Because the great players, Joey, Coopers, your Jonathan Thurstons, they just knew how to turn the tide. When their back's against the wall, all the momentum's against them, they had something up their sleeve to turn it for their team. So, look, I'm not going to be super critical of Dylan Brown. I certainly haven't seen too much commentary around people being too disappointed in Dylan Brown. Matty Croker, again, circling back to that beautiful short ball. We've said it so many times on this show about the ball playing ability on Matty Croker. He belongs in that 13 jersey. That pass was so fucking silky. Just fooled us all. No one saw it coming. It was a thing of goddamn beauty. How do you get a guy like Trey Mooney untouched through the defensive line there? Beautiful stuff. So great try there. Harrison Graham, absolute coach killer, because going back to that second half, we had a really good defensive set. If you remember, we had them, we conceded that try, but we sort of wrestled back and we thought, no, we had a really good defensive set. I think the Roosters barely made 30 meters or something. They were kicking out of their own end for once, which was sort of a bit uncommon. Like the Tigers game, it just seemed like every team was kicking within our half. But we had a really good defensive set, kept them down there. And then an absolute fucking coach killer, a Shepherd penalty. A penalty with the ball is just unforgivable in rugby league football. And it seemed like from that moment, I'm not blaming Harrison Graham for how we played out thereafter. But that moment, from there on, it was just gone. It was like they'd done that hard work to finally wrestle back some momentum after a really good defensive set. And we just cheaply coughed the ball over. And I'm pretty sure they scored in that set too. And it was just head in your hands kind of stuff. And you could kind of see the body language. That was the vibe. I was getting. I said, I hate being pessimistic. I hate sitting here thinking we're going to lose a game. But you could just see it coming. And it sucked. No one wants to see it. I hate saying it. I hate feeling it. But it is what it is. We're just calling it for what it is. So, but yeah.
I have an unfortunate voicemail here.
You do. What do you got?
Hey, buddy, just checking in. Look, I try to tell everyone. I try to tell the Newcastle faithful. 4 in a row is to lose. He's played no one at the start of the year. And look, 2 down, 2 to go. Way too many 5-8s. We all know that. See you, Magic Round.
Is that Adam of Talking Para?
It is.
What did I say about salty Parramatta supporters coming in talking shit about Dylan Brown? Calling it, we're going to lose 4 in a row. We're not going to lose 4 in a row. We're going to have a tough game against the Panthers. I know that. But I got mail saying that Kalen Ponga is going to be back against the Rabbitohs. And there's no way we're going to lose 4 in a row. No way, Adam. He's a bloke that was, he's high and mighty because they stuck it to the Bulldogs because they've been playing like absolute shit the last month. Coming on here, riding in on that. So, yeah, I'll see it Magic Round, mate, but I'm not going to take that sort of gear from you, pal. Very good. Look, is there much more to really say, Battlers? Is there much more to say? It was just, we got to get better at wrestling back momentum. That has got to be the priority in training this week. We know when we got it in our favour, there's points in this team, 24 points. Now, we look back at 2025, we couldn't score a goddamn point. We were scoring against the grain, long range, short range tries. It's great. The points are there. We just need to work on winning back momentum. How do we do that? I know we've got a young team, but the leaders have got to stand up. They've got to show the way. And as I said before, Jacob Saifidi basically confirmed that by saying, yeah, look, he felt like he was disappointed in his performance. I know he would be. We didn't get the numbers or the output like we'd seen from Jacob, like that Bulldogs game, that Raiders game. He was fucking amazing. Set the tone, set the platform, set everything. This game, unfortunately, just wasn't to be. It wasn't that. And then, yeah, it was super unfortunate because we were kind of hoping after we got beat bad by the Warriors and they were red hot. And I know everyone was sort of saying the refereeing wasn't great or whatever, which it wasn't. Both sides admitted to that. But it was what it was. The Warriors are fucking red hot. But we bounced back. We responded really, really well. Down in Sydney against the Dogs. Again, they're a team that their attack hadn't quite clicked at the moment. They're a bit of a different team now than what they were then. But I think after we were coming out of a pretty disappointing game against the Tigers where we were just dominated, it was basically what we saw in the second half this week was we had two halves of football against the Tigers. They were just clinical, dominant, physical, everything. They just near perfect game by a team. And you're kind of hoping we would respond with a really solid 80-minute performance. So that's going to have to be some areas that the Knights are going to be working on this week is consistency. Now the standard has been set, maintaining that standard. And we're going to lean on our leaders more than ever until we get some big names back. We're going to need them to step up and set the tone. But huge shout out to some of these younger guys. Said Fletcher Hunt, Frank the Tank, and Cody Hopwood. I thought they did really, really well. They can certainly hold their heads up high. I thought they did really, really well. And it goes to show you how good the depth of roster is for us at the minute, given the devastating injuries blighting our team. Unfortunately, with us burning fucking, what do you call it? Dragon blood fucking sage? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking hell. What are we doing here? Amateurs. We're getting the white. Was there any more other recommendations for what kind of sage? Is there a sage? If there is a sage specialist listening to this podcast, please send in your recommendations.
Leanne said earlier, white sage gets rid of negativity.
Negative. Is there one that like specifically attacks curses?
I'll go to my shop tomorrow.
Yeah. Maybe get a different sales lady. I swear we specifically told her what we wanted. And she sold us dragon's blood.
You want a refund?
Yeah. It's like St. George Illawarra dragon's blood. Don't want that shit. As I said, is there a refund policy? We'll take it back. We've still got plenty of this shit left. So, all right. That'll just about wrap up this show for the review battlers. Let's do it. Let's answer some burning questions.
Burning questions.
All right. What do we got?
To start it off, I got a voicemail from
Ryan.
Okay. Leg, mate, I'm sitting here at the casino with the work crew and they've just seen an absolute train crash, Newcastle Knights, classic second half fizzer. Where do we go from here, mate? It was a tale of two halves and I was flying high in the first half and it's just, it never ceases to amaze me that we can lose a half that badly. Talk to me, mate.
Oh, Ryan, what a way to ruin your night at the casino. Funnily enough, when I was last at the casino was when the Roosters narrowly beat us after that bullshit try they got awarded. Remember when Wong granted it with his forearm and Retro went and did that video, Lou, about doing everything with his forearms and just taking the piss out of us?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe a recommendation is when we're playing the Roosters, don't ever go to the casino. It's going to be bad times for you, mate. Look, are there some scars of 2025? There might be. Justin Holbrook's done a remarkable job coming in, and we all seen the buy-in from the players, but he's not a miracle worker. There's going to be something he's going to need a little time to iron out. And, yeah, I'm sure there are some scars of that fucking horrible year we witnessed last year. What I will say is, Imagine that Roosters team and that performance had been rolled out at the end of last year. What are we getting put on us? Because we had teams that weren't anywhere near as good as the Roosters put far more points on us at the end of last year. So, look, it's not great to witness. It's not great to see. No, it is what it is. But we got to give our boy time. All right, Justin Holbrook's doing some good stuff. He's working it out. He's just got his feet under the desk. And as I said before, we're not using injuries as an excuse. Maybe as a mitigating circumstance or a mitigating factor to some of these performances. But look, we're going to be better for it. There's going to be a lot of learnings taken out of this. As I said, when you got some young guys who I thought were the standouts in this game, it means there's some positives. We can pluck some positives out of this poo Sunday. All right, mate? So don't get too down in the dumps, mate. Hope you had a big win anyways, Ryan.
Got a question from Pete. What do you think we have to do to make sure the same thing doesn't happen to us this Sunday? If you were in the four walls, what would you say to the team?
Well, it's stopping momentum. Discipline plus physicality plus patience is going to equal winning momentum back. That's what it's going to take. It's all those little areas where it's going to be we said it here. We were waiting for someone like JSAF or someone come out with a big shot, fire everyone up. Trey Mooney just, I don't know, takes off fucking Lindsay Collins' head, in a legal tackle. Just sparks something. We saw Phoenix Cross on the early kick. I think it was a third tackle kick. Those kind of things. They're the kind of right ideas. That's what you need up your sleeve. It's just you got to complete high, play a little bit of boring football, conservative football, find your front, all that boring stuff. You just got it's so imperative to win that, and you got to be patient. I know towards the end there we were dropping the ball, and you're just trying to play too expansive. You're trying to chase points, and that's what we saw against the Tigers. That's what we saw this week. Is you're going away from your game script. You're playing in your own head. Nothing's going to plan. That's where you need your leaders. This is why leadership is so important to a football team. This is why young teams they don't do well when they get a bit of adversity about them. Shit goes sideways real quick. You needed some blokes who have seen some fucking rugby league winters in the team to get the boys around and say, "This is the game plan, guys. Bit of patience. We're going to be all right." So I'm sure that's going to be a big theme because we've seen it twice now, and given the new era of the NRL, it is more imperative than ever. It's never been more important to stop momentum and to win it back because, as I said, 5-10 years ago, you could have 10, 15 minutes of dominance in a game and it not blow away. Nowadays, you can see 3 or 4 tries scored and then the whole game is just fucking flipped on its head in a short amount of time. Like just with these 6 agains and the fatigue brought into the game, that's how quickly it can turn. And that's what happened to us. That second half, we basically lost that. What did they score in? What was the minutes in which they scored? Where's this fucking team summary? The summary here. So they scored in the 43rd minute, 50th minute, and 55th minute. So within 15 minutes, they're already up 18 points. So exactly, hit the nail on the head. 15 minutes, bang. It's gone. You're no longer leading. You're on the back foot, and now you're trailing. So, and they just put their foot down and got on with it, and we had no answer for it. So that's going to have to be a huge, huge thing we've got to work on because I can tell you now, we all know what would come if we do that. If the Panthers do that to us, they are fucking world class. They are not there. They don't get in their own way. They don't make silly errors. They complete high. They're methodical. They execute well. They're a well-oiled machine. They will just drive into the ground and just score points. Look at Milky Jenkins. Jesus Christ. How many fucking tries would he have scored on us? So, again, it's probably good we did play a couple of games like that when we did. It's not ideal, but if you're going to play them, get them over with now and work on that shit for later in the season. You don't want that in the latter parts of the year. Sort it out now, and you know what to do. So, that's what you got to do, mate.
All right, I got a voicemail from Wilma, and I apologize because some of them do.
Sorry, you're cutting in and out there.
Sorry, I have a voicemail from last week.
Sorry, you got to talk into the mic. It
am.
keeps cutting out on you.
Hey, Lou and Link. This is the redo of the deleted voice note. So I'll go again. Just in relation to the new signing, Niokora. I heard he's on about $900K a year. Mitch Barney said he'd come for 7, I think. I don't know what we're thinking. But anyways, my overall question what I'm getting at here is we've got about, 4 or 5 players that are around that 900 to $1 million plus. I know the salary cap's going up, but, mate, how hard is it to get a bloke to come to Newcastle? I mean, I knew it was hard, but I didn't know it was this hard. Warriors are obviously they've got massive depth coming through, but they are not that, bummed to see him go for 900K. Fuck, it's a big price tag to pay for someone who isn't that explosive anymore. I think his best days are probably behind him. And I know he's coming for the experience to replace Frizz, but I don't know, man.
Respectfully, Wilma, I can't see a world where we've paid Murata Niokore 900. I don't know where you're getting that from, mate. I certainly had not seen that written anywhere. If that's the case, Jesus, he needs to give his manager a huge raise. I can't see being for 900, dude. Like, let's be honest, no disrespect to Murata Niokore, he's played representative football and all the rest of it, but I know it sucks not getting Barney. I don't know what happened there. We were linked pretty early on, but it seemed, I don't know whether it was the price tag, him coming off that ACL, might have had the Knights, a little bit concerned if he wasn't coming off such a major injury as well. Maybe that played into it. I don't know. But geez, I would be shocked if the Knights have been paying Murata Niokore $900,000 a year. I just can't see that, mate. I honestly can't see that. Surely it'd be somewhere in the sevens. I can't see it being in the nines, considering like Payne Hassan, they're all that are on $1 million. I'd be shocked. But look, I think you'll find now under Justin Holbrook, this is what happens when you get some big fish like Kalen Ponga and Dylan Brown, especially. You got those two young guys. We've seen razor sharp, super exciting player there. The back line's elite. Players are going to want to buy into that. Players are going to want to buy into that brand of football. And I think early signs of what we've seen from Justin Holbrook in the brand of football he plays is exciting to players. Not the throw stones at Adam O'Brien, but it is stark contrast, isn't it? Like you would see the way the Knights had been playing in the past sort of, 18 months of Adam O'Brien, and it wasn't not a lot to get excited about, where, the early signs of Justin Holbrook look fucking pretty darn good, don't they? Much like you're kind of seeing from Seabold to Kieran Foran, just a revitalized football team that looks happier. I wouldn't sleep on them. I think when we've got some big guns, some big marquee guys, we'll be all right. Some guys are going to be wanting to play some rugby league football with them for sure.
My white working now?
Yeah, I don't know. It was cutting in and
I had
out.
my face right on the mic, so I don't know what's happening.
Maybe talk up maybe a smidge.
We've got the voicemails glitching. Now I'm glitching.
Yeah, shout out. Sorry, guys. Some of the voicemails, they come through, especially the longer ones. I don't know whether it wigs out a little bit towards the end, but it gets a bit funny. So apologies, we didn't play yours.
Noah's asked, what's with all these Sunday games? Why can't we ever get early games or prime time?
Oh, mate. That has been, how many times do we say that in this household? Oh,
lots.
Mate, it does our fucking heads in because we would love the Match Rewind is meant to be a Sunday show. That's what it's meant to be. But obviously when you play on a Sunday, for us to quickly turn around and get everything, it just can't physically be done. It is what it is. So yeah, it sucks for us because we would rather do this show on a Sunday, have it out on Monday morning, ready for everyone going to work, but isn't to be. But yeah, I think, what were you saying, Lou? We got the next 4 games are on Sunday. Is that right?
Next 2, and then we've got a Saturday, and then we've got a Sunday for Magic Round.
Yeah, so it fucking sucks. Like, gee, your work would be so much easier being a Broncos supporter. You get the Friday, and then you'd have 2 whole days to prep for the rematch.
We've got 2 Fridays in June.
2 Fridays in June. Oh, what a treat! It would be nice, mate. I think it does probably come down to the fact that they look at there would be some bias, and they look at the Knights with a wooden spoon team, blah blah blah. We all know the Broncos get handed those fucking Friday games, viewerships, and all that shit comes into it. But it would be nice if fucking Peter V'landys threw us a bone every now and then and gave us a prime time Friday or something, or a Super Saturday would be nice. But yeah, I'm with you, mate.
Pat's asked, where do you think Sandon will end up if he's not playing in the halves? I can't see him wanting to come off the bench for the next 4 years if it's Dylan Sharp.
Yeah, you make a good point. Because I'm thinking he would have come here to try and prove to get that 7 jersey. Well, he outright said that. Harrison Graham, he had a couple of really good games. He's had a couple of quieter games now. As well, but I think Harrison Graham's game is predicated on the fact like every time he's played really well, we've won the middle, and he's just come on and just carved them up, taking those opportunities. Hasn't got quite the experience yet. When you see we saw what Bedsy used to do. Cameron Smith was a fucking master at it, as well as just super crafty in and around the middle there, and can do some things, a good kicking game to try and turn the tide for his team too. So at the moment, Harrison Graham, yeah, when things are going well and we're on the front foot and playing over the advantage line, he's great, isn't he? He's electric. But we haven't seen that from him. But I would still say Sandon in the pecking order would be the out-and-out 14. But I guess it depends, man. Like you look at, say, like a Connor Watson and, it seems like he's quite happy to come off the bench or, if there are injuries, he's the first man up. And I think that's what Sandon would be. He would be kind of all things going, what we would think, if everyone's fit and healthy and playing to the best of their abilities, you would think Sandon would be that 14 who could slot in, play hooker, anywhere in the halves, maybe outside backs in a pinch as well. Just that versatility player. He'd be like our new Connor Watson type player. Maybe. And that's the thing. If the team's successful, why would you want to go anywhere? Connor Watson's like a prime example of that. He could probably come in and start with a lot of other clubs, but I guess when you're always in the hunt to play finals football, and you're developed into a quality Origin player, why would you kind of want to go anywhere else? I guess, but wait and see, my man. But let's hope he sticks around because his versatility is really, really good. He's only going to get better as well. So.
All right. I got a voicemail from Brandon.
Brandon, what do you got, big dog?
Hey, Lincoln Lou. Feeling a bit dejected from
mate.
the match against the Roosters. I'm probably feeling this one the most out of the 3 losses we've had. But hey, you move on to the next week. What can you do?
That's it, brother.
And my question is, if you were to take one top tier, one middle tier, and one underrated Knights player of all time into a undiscovered tribe in the Amazon, who would you choose and how would you communicate with the undiscovered tribe?
Wow.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for everything you do. And I hope you have a good rest of your week.
Thanks, mate. Wow. Keep the hypotheticals coming. Okay, so what did he say? A high profile, a middle profile, and an underrated Knights player into the Amazon jungle.
Yep.
To communicate with a fucking Amazonian tribe. And how would I do it? Okay. Shit. Top line player. What we're gonna do, we're taking Joey because if we're going to be kind of like missionaries. We're going to be on a missionary thing. We're going to try and convert these Amazonians into some fucking hardcore rugby league Newcastle Knights supporters. So we're going to take the 8th immortal, Joey Johns. Again, we're going to give him a god. We're going to get him, show them a god, an immortal amongst men. Here they go. Here you're walking through the jungle. Here's the 8th immortal, just, talking shape to these Amazonians. Middle. Oh, man, I'm going to say a middle player would be a guy that played really well but never kind of played rep or a lot of rep footy. Man, a middle one. Jesus, that fucking leaves it wide open. You know what? Do you know who might be a little bit handy in that situation? Give me Rostock. Rostock, I could see Rostock being quite handy. Maybe not so nowadays, but if in his prime, he was a bit of a mover. He could get around the place. I think if you're going to crawl through the fucking Amazon jungle, you're going to have some moves. You're going to have a bit of athleticism about you. Give me the Rostock, and I think he keeps spirits quite high as well. And an underrated Knights player. Oh, man. It's hard because I rate them all. I never underrate. Who'd be someone that would be underrated? Man, I'm trying to think. Geez, battlers, help me out. An underrated Knights player. As I look around the bar, who's someone who's jumping out at me as an underrated Knights player? Do you know what? Do you know who's going to come? Actually, this one's fucking perfect because it's a twofer. Give me Michael Hagan. Give me Michael Hagan because not only was he a great player, unfortunately, he was a Queenslander, played for Queensland, but a gun player for us back in the day, but he's smart between the ears. Obviously winning that premiership in the inaugural year. So whether you're going to get the young Michael Hagan or the older coach Michael Hagan, I'm in for a win. And as far as communicating with him, I think we just have Joey do Joey stuff. Maybe keep the Maybe keep the like the jungle juice away from him, not the silly stuff. But I think if we just let Joey, the communication is going to be a bit hard. He's going to have to talk with his hands and just show them the great game of rugby league. Maybe we can make some makeshift sort of goalpost in the Amazon jungle somehow, mate. So that's the fucking one of the weirdest questions I've ever been asked. I hope I fucking nailed it, Lou. Did it make sense?
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense in my head, but yeah.
I've got a few more hypotheticals.
Oh,
if you want
God.
them.
Okay.
All right. Matthew asked, who is one Newcastle Knights player, past or current, you would go on a road trip with?
Oh, past or current? Fuck, man. I know it's probably the most obvious answer for a lot of people. You'd have to go Matty, man. Like just the young. It'd be Matty or Matty and or Joey. I have him so fucking close, man. I'll give Matty just because of the. If it's going to be a road trip, give me Matty, because that road trip would just feel like it'd go by so quick.
Sorry. All right. One from Justin. Which 5 Knights players are you inviting to a dinner party where one will flip the table, one will give unsolicited advice, 45-minute speech, and one will show up 3 hours late in full training gear like it's normal?
Oh, fucking hell. 5 Knights players to a dinner party. Well, I've got to go both the Johns boys. I'm going to invite Chief because I think just as a human being, not just as a Knights legend, but just as a human being, I feel like I need to meet the Chief. I think once you meet Chief, you never go back to being the same. I think he's just one of those old souls, and you learn a lot from Chief. You know what? Do you know who'd be a bit of fucking fun as well, particularly when we got the Johns boys around? Give me Robbie O. Give me a little bit of Robbie O. Have you seen that weapon at the moment? If this injury curse keeps continuing, I think Robbie O might make his fucking triumphant return to rugby league football. Holy shit. I commented on his post. It's like, mate, do you know how many fucking Australian firearm gun laws you're breaking by walking around with your arms out without sleeves? Holy shit, he's in good nick, old Robbie O. Shout out to him, good friend of the show. I'll go Robbie O. And one more. And he's going to be the bloke that rocks up late in training gear, because look at him. He hasn't stopped fucking training, that guy. I swear he sleeps in training gear. Unsolicited advice. I'm going to take that from Joey. One more player. One more. Fuck. Man, that's so hard. Oh, so many greats. You know what? One guy I wouldn't mind to meet, and I probably haven't given him as an answer. Give me BK.
Pete said earlier Jared Mullen.
Mullo would be Mullo. Mullo was he maybe he was never underrated because he did. Remember when he burst on the scene, he had that mad pressure put on him. You know, he took over. What did he debut in Joey's last year or two? Played Origin, he was never underrated. Maybe he was. He was never underrated to us, but maybe in the greater scheme of things, he was a good player, man. Back in his day, it was just unfortunate he had so much pressure put on him. Just the poor bastard had to come out and be the next halfback after Joey Johns for the Knights. Like, fuck that.
Carly said Kurt Gidley would be great at a dinner party. He can talk a good yarn.
He absolutely can. I can. Yep, Carly, and I'm sure you'll shout out to Gids. Got to meet him. Saw him in the corporate box again. I said, mate, are you following me? I'm pretty sure you follow me. So, no, he's a good dude, Kurt. Yeah, you're right. He'd be a kind of guy too in the Amazonian jungle if I was going to take him as well. Fuck, he's still fit too. Talking about Robbie O being fit. Because when was it? Was it 2020 or 21? Gids came back and played that Nines tournament over in Perth. Fuck, he looked good. After 5 years out of the NRL, fuck, he looked amazing. So, shout out to the Gids. There's so many. There's so many to pick from.
All right, Ken's asked, even if Penrith smashes this weekend, I feel like we can go on a good run against the Bunnies, Dragons ×2, Titans, Eels, Storm, and 2 buys once KP and Best are back. Can you see us winning most of those games?
Absolutely. Yes, yeah, I think we can beat. I think we can get the Panthers. Is going to be fucking tough. There's no denying that's going to be tough. Let's hope we really rally around that Anzac spirit back home after 2 disappointing games. You know, let's hope it's that round 7, 23 ambush kind of areas where we've so fucking close. You know, the boys got a standing ovation even after losing a game at home. That was incredible stuff. We can get into those areas would be nice. And we've seen, the Bulldogs might have just uncovered how you can get underneath the Panthers and get to them, because they haven't really played a poor game. Just the Bulldogs had a really good script. So maybe that's we can learn a bit from that as well. But all those other games you've mentioned, fucking oath, there's absolutely no reason why we can't win them. I'm with you, dude. Particularly the Storm. Jeez. They are spiraling. Like, what timeline are we living in with a Melbourne Storm just out for answers? I know it's always the way. Everyone, how many times has Craig Bellamy written off and, they come back, but I don't know. He just hasn't got the roster anymore. It just isn't. This is the weakest roster he has had in a long time, like 20 fucking years. At the moment, a lot of inexperience, injury, and whatnot, but going to be a big test for him. But yeah, I wish I was playing them this week rather than the Panthers. I'll tell you that much.
On YouTube said Morgan Evans playing halftime this weekend, Link.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Well, that's got to get him going, because I know there's been a lot of people messaging us saying, what on earth is going on with us not playing Morgan Evans? So that should get him inspired. I tell you what, there is no way on earth the boys come out and play a second half like we saw this week after Morgan Evans plays. There'll be some serious questions being asked if Morgan Evans bashes out that and the boys come out flat as attack. Then we hit the panic stations. It won't happen. Beautiful strategic move. When was that locked in? If that's Justin Holbrook going, get me Morgan Evans here now.
Tonight at 6:33.
There you go. That's some fucking rugby league 4D chest. What's the bet? Morgan Evans at the as soon as that happened, Justin Holbrook's like, I know what to do. When this isn't happening again, I'm playing 4D chest. Get me Morgan in here now. Masterstroke.
One last one and one last hypothetical.
All right.
From Christopher.
Last one.
Which Knights player, past or present, would you choose to fight for you to save your life?
Holy shit.
Nothing.
My life's on the line. Who am I going to get to fight for me? Oh. You know what? I think you'd have to go Chief. I think you would have to go Chief. Just not only physically fucking tough, mentally. I don't know if there'd be a player that could knock him out and be convinced he's going to stay down. He would just keep going. You could have bigger guys. You could have big fucking Nelson in his prime. If you had prime Nelson and prime Chief in the ring, Chief is just going to keep coming. Keep coming. Like Rocky, just can't fucking be stopped. You can't kill the fight in the man. Give me Chief every day of the week. I reckon all the OGs would say that. 100%. You want a man to go in the battle for you, save your goddamn life, give me Chief. And he would know that. You would tell him that. You give him the heads up, and it's like, there is nothing stopping that man.
What song would be playing?
Oh. Fucking hell. This is hypothetical hour. Shit. I know what song you would play.
What's that?
Your fight song.
What about Battlefield?
What one's that?
Battlefield.
Love is a Battlefield.
No.
Shout out Pat Benatar. I don't know. But definitely Chief. 1,000% Chief. Fucking great hypotheticals. Keep them coming. I love them. The wackier, the better. Hit me up. All right, battlers.
We've got one more.
Oh, right.
Snuck in
One more. What do you got?
from the league.
Oh, yeah.
You should be proud of that performance, mate. I was absolutely shitting myself at halftime.
Thank you, Leaguey. Thanks, mate. Look, we said it on the Tuesday show. You can't sleep on this Roosters team. They're just too fucking good. There's no way in the world they're not going to play finals football. It's just not going to happen. I know they'll be hit and miss, and Rooster supporters would even admit, even the proudest Rooster supporters would go, we are our own worst enemy. 16 errors, and you guys still manage that is pretty fucking remarkable. So, again, we're not hitting the panic button here, but we certainly need to learn how to wrestle momentum back. That has been the theme for us the last 2 weeks. Under the Volandis era, we know momentum is imperative to winning football games. We've seen now once it gets away and you're chasing points, it can fucking snowball. So we need to work on that. So appreciate the kind words, Leaguey. Love what you're doing. Go check out, if you haven't done so, if you're hiding under a fucking rugby league rock, go give our boy Leaguey some love. All right, doing some great work. Great work. Got a good niche there. He's got a good rugby league brain on him. Can't wait, mate, to have some beers with you at Magic Round, mate. It's going to be a good fucking time. It's fast approaching too. What do we say? Less than a month. Just
Yeah.
over 3 weeks.
17th of May.
Holy shit. Where's time going? Fuck. I can't believe Vegas was like 6-7 weeks ago. What the fuck? Wild. Anyways, Battlers, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up. And if you're listening to this show after the fact, make sure you give it a big old 5-star review. What are you doing? But yes, we'll be coming to you live tomorrow night for the roster review as we break down that Anzac Day clash against the Panthers back home. It's going to be a big one. The biggest test yet. What have we got in the bank? What can we do after being dominated for 3 halves of football? Going to be a lot of soul searching for the Newcastle Knights, but we know we can do it. We're going to dig into that Anzac spirit. Wearing that beautiful jersey once more, that brown and white masterpiece in the green. Oh, sensational stuff. So, Battlers, stay tuned. 7:30 tomorrow. We'll be breaking down that game. We'll see you then. We're getting the Adam O'Brien out here. Later.